Hello guys, and welcome back. As promised, though a lot later than I was anticipating, I am starting my seeds today. I'm going to say most of my seeds today, and so I've already gone ahead and set up most of my starting, but I'm going to take you through along with my seed starts, what I plan to do today, and how I go about doing this. So first of all, since I've already got this heating up, I'm going to show you, I am going to be doing my tomatoes in solo cups. So I'm starting off with this solo cup, but you have to have the drainage holes. So I'm going to show you how I am doing my drainage holes for these. I'm only doing 10 tomato plants this season, and this is how I'm going to be starting them. But I am going to use, this has never been used, glue gun, and you just heat it up till it's heated up, and then it's the easiest process you can ever do. I start in one spot. I literally just press it in and go down in, and it literally makes a hole for you. So it's very easy, very simple. Then I go on the opposite direction, right exactly on the opposite side, put another hole in it, slide across. Then I go in between those two, touch it down, push it in. It's actually quite simple, quite quick. And the more you do it, the quicker it gets. I've seen quite a few videos online that people initially start in these and just continue growing in these solo cups. This is how I'm doing my tomatoes, and I'm gonna unplug this. And then I'll take you on from there. My medium that I'm using for seed starting, I just put it in a bowl because I moistened the soil. Now I'm using the ProMix potting soil, and I follow a few people on YouTube who do already start their seed starts with this medium, and so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And all of my starting containers have already been pre-started with this soil, but I wanted to show you. So you moisten your soil, but you want it to be able to stick together but not have anything dripping from it. So that's how much you want to moisten your soil. And then when you take your container, I put like a handful of soil in, just enough, pack it down just a little bit, enough to be about half full, maybe not quite half full. And you're probably wondering, if you've not started seeds in solo cups, how is that supposed to work when you're doing tomatoes? So if I started a seed in one of these containers, I would have to transplant it, but a tomato can continue growing in this size of a container because tomato stems can grow roots all around their stem. So as it continues to grow, I can add soil into here and I'll get a stronger tomato plant by using this. But then I can actually transplant from this container straight outdoors, and I'll show you me starting my tomatoes in that. And then I did get, for my other plants, I did already start this. I've already packed it in, and now you don't want to press it firmly, but you want to put it into there until they're just enough to feel not compact, but full. And then I've already pressed my finger into all of these, and then when I put the seeds on, I'll just put a layer of soil over top of it, and then give it another little water down, and it should be good to go. Now in this tray, because I bought the seed starting trays, the seed starting trays that I purchased are actually 12 cells, but this tray does not quite fill. It only just holds 3 of them. I've cut one in half to make 2 6 cells and 2 12 cells, and I'll fill that. But I've got a space here that I can use to fill water in when I need to water my water these up as I'm waiting for them to germinate. So you don't have to water from the top, you can water from the bottom, and right until they're ready to go in the garden, I can continue bottom watering, because if you water on top, it can hold moisture, it can make the seeds run so the seeds are moved from their place. But if you bottom water, it'll continue to soak up the moisture, and most of your seeds, when they do germinate, they're going to send a root down through the cell, and they're going to be wanting the water from the bottom anyways. So you don't want to have the top to be completely saturated. You just want it to be able to bottom water. So that is what my plan is for that. and I think it's going to work very effectively. Of course, you know, in my last video, if you watched it, if not, go ahead and watch my seed starting video for my peppers, but I've actually purchased another thing of peppers, so I'm going to start them today, and that is this early California Wonder, which I hear also grows well in containers, so I can actually put these in containers, but I have another thing of the Jiffy pods, and I'm going to put another couple of plants into that one. Now, of course, today is tomato seed starting time, and I'm hoping to do 2 of each kind that I want to do, 1 of each cherry, and we will see how that goes. I'm going to be doing some flower starting, but probably not today, probably tomorrow, so that may be another video depending on how I get things going. Okay guys, let's get started with our tomatoes. So this year I am going to be doing this tomato. It is a bush variety tomato. This is what's going to be growing in my potted garden. And these are a determinate tomato, and of course if you want to see more about determinate tomatoes, there's a lot of videos on it, but I think I might do a separate video on tomatoes in another video, but this is one of the tomatoes I'm doing. I hope that this turns out really well. So I actually thought that I'd purchased another type of tomato, and it turns out that it is the exact same tomato but just done differently. So I will not have to open that one. I can save that for next year, and I'll use this one this year. I'm going to be doing this these bush tomatoes. I might actually do 2 seeds in each one, as you normally would do, but I will just thin them out and put them into separate containers later on. I will also do, for the other varieties, I'll do the similar thing as well. If I have 2 healthy ones, or I'll pick the healthiest ones, because those tomatoes actually came from my garden, and it's going to be an experiment to see how it grows. One of the most exciting things I am excited to see happen with the bush variety is, because it is determinate, means I will get more fruit in a shorter period of time, and here in Canada sometimes that's the best option. Also, you don't have to really trellis a bush variety tomato. I can use just a tomato cage, and that's going to work well for me. So I'm going to take 2 tomato seeds and put it into 2 of these, and another 2 into another one. So that is my bush variety tomatoes. So I'm hoping that maybe I'll put in 3, and this way I have a few to go from. Better safe than sorry. So I'll put 3 in each. There we go. And I might actually separate them a bit, but when you look inside there, you can see there's the 3 seeds there. All I need to do is take a little bit more of the mix that I've already got set up over here in this pot, and just kind of put a little bit on top, or you can push it down in just a little bit into the soil, and then just take the soil that's there and just pour it over top. So that is what you can do. There's a couple ways to cover your seeds and to get it growing. So that is my bush tomatoes. Now we don't want to forget to label, so there I put bush beefsteak tomato. So I probably should put a D on this so I know it's a determinate, and then I'll put on the other ones that are indeterminate and a C for a cherry tomato. So there is another option that I said I have, is I could put a label on like this, but I feel like putting it right on the container, it's not even going to get mixed up, and I'm able to cover all these. And I think these ones I'm going to cover with saran, because a lid won't fit over top of it, so that's fine. With the ones in the trays, I'll be able to cover it with the dome as it tries to germinate. I have previously saved seeds from my own cherry tomatoes, and I have actually planted in each one of these 4 of the cherry tomatoes. and I'm hoping that they will seed quite well, and I will up pop them if capable. If they don't germinate, it will be an experience, and I'm okay to that because this is my first year starting my own seeds. It's just something I will learn and I will grow from. But I will go ahead and label it cherry tomato. So I just put it on there. And then this one will be the red variety, red cherries. I actually, since I didn't know the name, I just put orange cherry and red cherry. And so that's how I labeled the seeds when I was when I harvested the seeds, and that's how I'm going to be putting on here too, because they're both nice varieties. My husband purchased them for me. I grew them, I harvested them, and that's how I separated the two. Then on to a variety of a tomato that was given to me. See, and labeling as I go works, then I don't grab one that already has a tomato in it. So I'll continue taking out. I've got two more here. This one is going to be a purple variety, and the reason why I'm just saying color is because the tomato was given to me by a friend who grew some tomatoes, and I don't know the name of the variety. So I am putting 3 seeds of that tomato into this pot, and I will just label it purple tomato because I don't know the variety. And then if I get a chance to talk to her, I'll probably eventually let you know the variety of that tomato. But for now, it is purple. It's a purple tomato. Alright, so I harvested these seeds myself. Purple tomato. And this is an indeterminate, so I'll put an I on it so I know it's indeterminate. So I know whether I can prune it or not prune it. And then I'm going to take the next one. Was called Rose, and it was a nice pinky colored flesh, and I did enjoy that tomato, so I harvested those seeds. So I'm going to go ahead, and I did not harvest a lot from the tomatoes. It's just when I was cutting up my tomatoes to eat, I took some of the seeds and saved it. So we'll see how well these all turn out. Most seeds are meant, the whole purpose of a plant making seeds is to be able to regrow itself. So these should all have no problem with germinating, but there's always the unknown, or if I didn't do it quite right. I'm pretty certain I did well, but this is the Rose variety, and it's also an indeterminate. And then, I was supposed to do 2 of those, wasn't I? Yes, I was. Now getting on, I'm done all those tomatoes. They're all set up. I just did another one of each of the Rose and the purple tomato, and because I realized I did 10 cups, which I probably only needed 8, I decided to do another bush variety and another cherry tomato. These are little peat pucks that I've pre-moistened, and they've grown. There's a little circle that's on it that you take it off, and then it's ready to start germinating. And this is what I'm going to use to start my cauliflower and my broccoli. So I'm going to do 4 of each broccoli and cauliflower. And as I said with the past ones, that I'm going to be putting 2 in each cell. This just kind of gives you almost a guarantee that if one doesn't start, the other one will. 1, 2 in there, and 1, 2 in here. So I'm going to put 2 more in this one, and 2 in this one. Now when starting seeds, if you weren't aware, you only have to go as deep as wide as the seeds are. And then I just kind of, once I pack it in, I just take some of the medium and put it just over top of the seed to allow it to germinate. So I'm going to take the remainder of these seeds and just put them back into that container. And I have more for next year. Now on to the broccoli. I don't know if you can upsell these things and separate the two if you had two growing in each one, because the two will still be fighting over which one gets to grow in that little cell. I'm doing 2 in each cell, and by doing different types of starting ways I start, I'm going to find out which way I actually like to grow best in. I do watch a lot of, I have been watching a lot of other YouTube videos on seed starting and how people start their seeds, and I have to say there is quite a variety of ways to seed start. I think one of these I put in 4 seeds, but that's okay because then I have I'm able to pick the best one. And like I said, don't forget to label the tops. Cauliflower, CCCC. I actually put cauli for one of them, just so that I know that's the cauliflower. And then I put broccoli, BBBB. So that's how I'm starting those. And I'm going to put these on the heat mat under the grow light and see how well that goes. Now I still have 6 more seed start cells in this one cell, so I'm going to start off with my basil, and I will put 2 basil into each tray, and I will upsell them into a bigger cell spot. So we'll start off with the sweet basil, and I'll put, like I usually do with the rest of them, 2 to 3 depending on the size of the seed. These seeds are very tiny. I will put 3 basil seeds per cell. This might even be 3 seeds per cell. And then on top of that, I will actually, don't forget to label, put sweet basil. There, that one's ready to go. The next one that I'm going to do is just the other basil, which is Italian large leaf basil. I'm hoping to use the basil as a companion crop for my other plants, my tomatoes. So I'm putting about 4 per cell, 3 per cell. 1, 2. And we'll see how that goes. And the nice thing is you can upsell these, you can pull them apart and separate them into different cells. Yes, when you buy your plants from the garden area at your stores, they will be this size, and you can actually plant them from your garden at that size. But this is just my seed starting medium, and how I'm starting when I'm in a smaller space, and just hoping that I get a good success out of all of this. Alright, so the basil's done. And what will I do next? Oregano. So I'm obviously got quite a good amount of herbs starting here. I have sage to do as well. I guess I had a lot more plants than I anticipated. I think I might just do regular seed starts, and I'll go on to flowers another day. was going to cut that with scissors, but I don't like cutting the packet with scissors. I got it to work. It's so tiny. So I'm going to put just a few of these seeds in each one. I'm not going to count. There's probably about 5 to 6 seeds per cell, and just a little bit of medium, hardly anything. Bring it from the sides as well, just to cover. And that is, my friends, oregano. So don't forget to label oregano. There we go. So oregano is planted. And then I'm going to do the sage. Alrighty. Sage. These are much larger. I will put, I actually, in my previous video did mention that I did an herb garden, and I don't even remember these seeds. I dropped a seed. That's okay. There we are. So I wonder, since I know what I'm doing, if I could put 2 per cell, and now cover them up with the medium. Like I said, these seeds are so tiny, you just have to actually literally grab the medium that's with it, and go from there. So I just covered that up, and don't forget to label. What did I do? Sage. Sage. And I will do some onion by seed. I'm going to do 2 cells of onion seeds. Maybe I'll do 5 per cell. There we go. And I'm going to do 3 cells of onions. And then I'll try growing these in the ground as well. So I'm just putting the medium on top of those. And don't forget to label. And so that is my seed starting. So I'll show you now what my tray looks like. So wherever it faces is where the seeds are. So facing here, here, and that is my seed starting cells for 2022. So I'm very excited. And I will help you guys follow along on my journey. I did get a little bit of a video of one of my green peppers has already started to germinate and I saw a little bit of green, and I'll insert that at the end of this video. But if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to continue on my seed starting journey or my garden journey, just hit the subscribe button and follow me along on this new journey that I'm going to do this year. I hope you have a good day and take care. Bye.